Hey everybody, welcome back to 14 Rings and NFC East podcast. I'm your host Lucas with Mal, Maurice, and Earl, and we are getting to that special time of the year where there's going to be constant NFC East matchups for the rest of the season. Aren't you guys excited?
Woohoo!
Yeah, we are. It's a shame that our matchup coming up, Lucas, we don't get to play against Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it. Trust me, I'm going to talk about that. You know what? I cannot find my handy-dandy notebook tonight. I don't know where it is. Usually it's right in my, Oh, hold up. Here it is. Okay, found it. Whew, got worried there for a second. All right, so handy-dandy notebook. Before we get into the games, we go over our preseason predictions. So for Week 15, yes, we're already in Week 15, guys. Crazy, isn't it? So for Week 15, we have we won 50-50 split. Me and Earl had the Commanders losing, and Mal and Maurice had the Commanders winning, and vice versa. Giants, me and Earl had them winning. Mal and Maurice had them losing. So then the Cowboys, we all had them winning. Oof. And then for the Eagles, we all had them winning. That worked out well for you, Maurice. And that being said, we're going to get into the NFC East matchup of the week. Commanders in the Meadowlands. Got some snow there, apparently. And that despite there being no snow on the field, it was still apparently a pretty impressive endeavor. The Commanders win 29-21. So we do winners first, don't we? We do winners
go
first.
ahead.
So what went wrong? The turnovers, really. That was pretty much it. We let you guys stay around too long with turnovers, fumbles, interception, that type of stuff. Gotta be more protective with the ball, but look, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the Commanders came out with a win here. I can't complain too much with a backup quarterback, defensive play. Antonio Hamilton was playing starting cornerback for us. So, look, this could have been a lot worse. I think this is actually a win for the Commanders. We're beating a division rival who, in history, we have not done well around, but Dan Quinn is undefeated against the Giants so far in his tenure there, 4-0 the last 2 years. So that's good. Overall, good running game for Ja'Cory Crosby-Mary. He made a comeback, and I don't know if that's him figuring out stuff or if it's more of the defensive line issues that the Giants have. But either way, I'll take the W there. Look, did Marcus Mariota play the greatest game ever? No, but he's a backup quarterback for a reason. So, I can't complain too much, but he did. He was pretty efficient. 10 of 19, 211 yards, 1 touchdown. Actually, no interceptions. My bad. It was all fumbles. He also had 43 rushing yards on 10 attempts. He did have 2 fumbles though. That's not good. Like I said, Jerry McNichols and JCM also had a fumble each, so that's not great. But at the end of the day, there are worse things. That being said, look, running game was pretty effective. Merritt had 96 yards on 18 carries, 1 touchdown. Terry had a pretty solid game. Only 3 catches on 4 targets, second most in the game for targets. But he had 69 yards. And defensively, like I said, if it wasn't for the turnovers, we probably wouldn't have given up as many points. And that's pretty much it. So any thoughts on what went good? Yeah, look, player of the game, I guess I give it to JCM. Or no, actually, I give it to Jalen Lane. Obviously, he got a kick return brought back for a touchdown. So good for him. I'm a little mad at Jake Moody for missing a PAT, but, didn't hurt us in the end. So Jake Moody, you want a permanent job? We got an opening. Just make your extra points. All that I ask. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all that I got. Any comments on my half before Mal go? Or actually, no, Mal, you go, and then we'll let them comment afterwards.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I know this isn't NFC East related, but while this matchup was happening, I was in attendance at the Jacksonville Jaguars Jets game, so that was fun. I got to see Everbank, had some great times with some cool Jags fans there. Awesome. Got to watch Trevor Lawrence break some records. So that was cool. But I did get to catch up on this game when I got home at the end of this weekend. But yeah, so I'm pretty tired of talking about this team. So I'm going to be short and sweet. We'll get to the point. Can't wait for the season to be over, quite honestly. Getting tired. But so, as Lucas said, Commanders win 29-21. What went wrong? Special teams disaster class. Special teams absolute disaster class, letting up a punt return touchdown. Younghoe Koo, absolutely horrible. He's officially been waived by the Giants. So they will be moving on to their 8th kicker of the season. Thanks, Joe Shane. Doing a great job. Love you, buddy. Fantastic guy for the job. But anyway, so yeah, special teams disaster class, just absolutely horrible. Run game was okay. Tyrone Tracy had 70 yards for a touchdown. Jackson Dart, not his best game, but not his worst game in the world. 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, Jalen Hyatt, just awful, man. I need that guy off the team. Bus Central, Bus City, get him off. I mean, I can't. Darius Slayton, Butterfingers, like these guys, like I don't know what they're doing out there.
Darius Slayton got that touchdown, this is a completely different game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like with your turnovers on how this game could have gone differently, these receivers can't catch, man. Like we need to fix it.
Next year, your best receiver right now is arguably your running back.
Yeah, I mean, the offense, the lack of the offensive weapons for Jackson Dart does suck for his development. I just hope, you know, with Malik coming back next year and maybe adding a good wide receiver too, something can change. But we'll talk about that in draft stuff. Continuing on this matchup, though, I'll get into sort of the good for now. Abdul Carter, great game. 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, a sack. He definitely had the game that we needed from him. The game we've been waiting for.
Was this his first sack on the season?
No, I believe he had one last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe he had one last week. But this week, yeah, he had another sack. So, and this is the game we needed out of our first round, 3rd overall pick. So I was happy to see that. Now
he also had 3 tackles. He also had 3 tackles for loss, which leads your team. Yeah,
he did a really good job this week. We're at the point of the season now, eliminated from playoff contention. Got to see what the rookies got. So it's good to see him developing there, and hopefully he can continue on and make it more consistent. Another positive, offensive line was ranked 9th in the league this week. That's a big improvement for our offensive line woes. Give a lot of credit to Carmen Brasillo. Give a lot of credit to Andrew Thomas. Let me finish. Okay. Give a lot of credit to Illuminor and to Runyon and Van Rotten. However, they were, climbing slowly, but they've been hanging steady in the middle of the pack of the league, which is a drastic improvement from when we were hanging at 30-32 last year. Just shows that it's a big difference when Andrew Thomas is on the field and he's healthy. So hoping to see the line continue to improve there. My player of the game is Abdul Carter. Only guy that really showed up and made a big enough difference on the field. Fire Joe Shane. That's all I got.
Yeah, I will say this. While your offensive line in general has improved, we said that last time you were on the pod. I will say that in terms of look, we have no pass rush right now, so let's not say they're elite, but you did good. Yeah, look, we only had 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack. So like in QB hits, I think we actually had 8. That's actually kind of high. Who got all those QB hits? It was Jacob Martin. Okay, yeah, no, but that's fair. Look, this was the battle of who's trying to get the first overall pick, and look, we tried to give you the game with all those turnovers, but you were like, no, let's keep that first overall.
Yeah, we're chilling.
That being said, Maurice, JT, any thoughts?
I think both of you guys want to have a top 5 pick at the end of it.
I mean, I don't know about us. With 4 wins, that's going to be kind of tough, but like top 10, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my only question is, and I mentioned it earlier, they announced after the game that they're shutting down Jaden Daniels for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So like part of that is the quick turnaround between this week and this upcoming week and the following week. And I think I think they realize that right now Jaden's just not in a place to try to come back. It's just, I think part of it was like health was a part of this factor, but I think how the schedule was planned out is also part of this as well. So yeah, that's where I think we're at. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's part of it. Look, like I said last week, if he can be on the field without the brace, then yes, let him play. But if he has to wear the brace, then obviously he is not healthy enough to play. And I just don't think he's there for the rest. At 3 games, 2 of them are going to be in the span of like less than 2 weeks. So like, I'm not upset about it. I understand the thought process, and hopefully some young quarterbacks do better when they sit and they watch for a few games, and maybe Jaden needs to do that to help him recalibrate. I mean, it helped last year. It certainly helped Bryce Young, and now Bryce Young is, I'm not going to say a franchise guy, but he looks like a capable starter, right? And some guys just need that like look from the sideline for a few weeks. So, if that's the case for Jaden, maybe that helps. Oh, and I do want to shout out one more guy here, Ben Sinnott. Like he was essential on a big 3rd down conversion that kept, the game in our favor. He needs more than 1 target. Simple as that. Also, Traylon Burks missed both of his, passes thrown to him, and Jalen Lane missed his one. But yeah, no, I need more Ben. Give me more Ben Sinnott, please. That's all that I'm asking. But to be fair, we didn't have to throw it that much because, we only threw it 19 times, but we rushed it 37 times. So makes life easier.
Without Zach Ertz for the season, we will target the tight ends a little bit more.
Well, John Bates got 1 target, Ben Sinnott got 1 target, and Colson Yankoff got injured early in the game. So, yeah. What was that last week that he got injured? I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, JT, any thoughts?
Yeah. It was whoever got both of y'all gonna have a top 5 pick. One thing that I noticed, I got a chance to take a glimpse of Hard Knocks. Quinn established that Dart plays like a running back.
And treat him like a running back. That's what he said. Yeah.
And pretty much utilize that as a game plan because Dart doesn't know how to slide. And they pretty much just rattled him the most of the game. Really kind of knocked him off his game. So, yeah. Commanders
you got to do the slide.
Commanders did what they did and just executed what they needed to. And, yeah, just got to Dart slide.
Slide. Yeah. All right. On that note, we can go to Maurice's game, though. I don't know if there's really much to talk about in a blowout win.
Yeah, this was a get right game for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I thought a couple weeks ago the Bears game was going to be a get right game, and I was sorely wrong about that one. But the Raiders truly are one of the worst teams. I actually think the Raiders are worse than the Giants.
Oh yeah,
and the Raiders are pretty bad. They play lifeless in this game. The only statistical stat I need to tell y'all is the Raiders had 75 yards of total offense in this game. 75.
Well, there's a reason why Kenny Pickett's not starting anymore.
75. They did nothing. Ashton Genty, to be determined on what he is as a running back.
He's been good for the most of the year. I've had him on my fantasy team. He's just stuck on a bad team.
Bad offensive line.
Very bad. Probably the worst.
Yeah, maybe the worst, yeah. After they traded Myers earlier this season, they pretty much given up on the season. They were lifeless. But talk about the Eagles, this was a get-right game for the team and for Jalen Hurts. Really efficient game for him. I think he had a QBR of, I want to say 154. I think he had a perfect QBR in this game. Now, this is the Raiders we're talking about. So the barometer is, I mean, they had to get right, but the barometer was really low for the Eagles in this one. Next week against the Commanders, Lucas Team, we'll have our matchup preview. Hopefully, that's a little bit better of a test for the Eagles. It's a divisional game, so it's always going to be tough. But overall, after having 5 turnovers last week, Jalen Hurts he only had 175 yards. He was 12 for 15. He had 3 touchdowns and a QBR of 96.
Less
So I was
is
wrong
more.
about that one.
Less is more.
Yeah, less is more. I mean, he scored 3 touchdowns off of 15 passes. Like I said, this is the Raiders. So we'll just keep it at that. Saquon had 78 yards. Dallas Goedert, he's been getting a lot of touchdowns. If you have him in fantasy, GG's to you. But overall, our defense came to play again. Wonderful play from our defense. 1 interception. Yeah, overall, not really much to say in this one. It's not much to really break down, but this is a beatdown for the Eagles. Our last 3 games of the season, we played the Raiders, we played the Commanders twice, and sandwiched in between is the Buffalo Bills, which will be a great test going into the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, all we have to do is win 1 game to officially win the NFC East division. So we'll break that curse of 21 years now since
something like that.
Someone's repeated the division. Sorry, Earl. I know you guys had a chance, but it was a tough week for y'all. I know you'll get into it, but yeah, for the Eagles, you got to get right. Just got to get right going into the playoffs. Get everything on the right page. But overall, just a butt weapon for the Raiders. Anybody got any comments, concerns, questions?
No, I mean, yeah, look, the Raiders are probably going to take the Oregon quarterback in the draft. We'll see how that goes for them.
I don't think they could draft a quarterback. They got too many holes.
I mean, they gotta try.
You gotta
find at least get your guy first.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I don't think they have an option anymore. I don't think they can go the bridge route. They gotta try.
I mean, it's not like Gino's terrible, but like he's not gonna do good on a bad team. Yeah. Anyway,
he's not the future.
Nope.
Yeah, it was a beat down. It was pretty much a Saturday afternoon college game. So
yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Well, I think on that note, I was about to say, I think JT has been waiting long enough for his spotlight here.
I'm going to mute myself.
I'm going to mute myself, and I'm just going to let the man preach. Got to pull out them notes.
Little pause of the action.
Mm-hmm. Good things take preparation.
All right. What else needs to be said? Cowboys lose yet again. A primetime game. I'm honestly tired of losing primetime games. I've been trying to wrap my head around this one for the last couple of days. I had to talk to family because I was steaming. I'm low-key still steaming. Basically knowing what the problem is, but my fellow fan group and their little mob, their little zombie mob, really is hurting my team. And to that point, I'm going to have to take matters in my own hand and really kind of steer this ship to get where it needs to go. And I definitely know the head of the Cowboys get a report each week, especially on Twitter and X. So don't worry. My name is probably in there somewhere. Dallas Cowboys lose the football game, and they played the Minnesota Vikings. They lost 34-26. A game where I thought Dallas would be able to rebound from their defeat against Detroit, but things started to cook right, and they just left the food on the stove, and it just burned out before it could even fully cook. Where can I start in this? I constantly talk about the defense. I constantly talk about how they're playing out of position. They're not playing in the right spots. The wrong players are playing. And the more and more I'm looking at it, the more and more I know the problem. But politics is involved. And the more and more that I'm seeing it, the more frustrated I get looking at it on TV that you blitz at the beginning of the game. You're going up against a second-year quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. And this guy has a breakout game of 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, and have 108 passer rating. Something that he really hasn't done this whole season. All you have to do is apply pressure, get pressure in his face. He will crumble. You did that in the first quarter, and then you went away from it. Eberflus, I don't know what. You're ignorant and stubborn. You won't utilize what works just so you can prove a point and say that your scheme works. Your scheme is outdated. Teams have figured it out. You trying to do a soft zone, cover 2, cover 3, cover 6, playing 10 yards, corners playing 10 yards off the ball, linebackers playing out of position, that you got to go. Now, Jerry spoke on this being the 3 games of evaluating Eberflus as a defensive coordinator. I'm already to the point, flush Flus. He's got to go. Hashtag flush Flus. I'm going to keep saying it every week, every day, every week.
Speak it.
Eberflus got to go because I'm seeing him messing up a defense where press man is their best option, but yet you can apply pressure to the opposition, but your ego is so stubborn that you run away from it. I'm going to give you a percentage stat and see if this makes sense. First quarter in the last 2 games, you blitz 60% of the time. Second quarter and later, 13%. So you apply pressure, you get off the field. When you don't do it, you're getting gashed. Secondary is getting gutted. And the more and more I saw in this game was the secondary was getting beat by the Vikings' number 4 receiver. Inexcusable. I understood that Bland, he got beat at the early part, but when he started playing man, he played better. And the thing is, my corners are press man corners. Why the flip are you having them play zone and they're better up in your face? That's honestly what went wrong. The defense and the stubbornness of my defensive coordinator, and part of my head coach is what went wrong in this game. Was that, I'm going to throw front office in that too. Because if Schottenheimer had his running back, Javonte Williams would have had a neck injury in this game. He injured his neck in this game, where I specifically said, if we don't have a RB1 duo with this, something like this is happening. Because I knew in December, winter is coming. You got to make sure you have the running back from where you need it to be. Blue cannot be trusted. Javonte Williams was the only one that was trusted. Malik Davis, he could only do certain things, but he wasn't the guy that Schottenheimer was looking for. And the more and more I try to wrap my head around front office because they did the same thing with Quinn. All Quinn needed was a linebacker to complete his defense. They did not give that to him. All Schottenheimer needed was a premier dominant running back to go with Javonte Williams. They didn't give that to him. They have it in-house, but will they utilize them? I don't know. Only time will tell. But back to this game. My defense, they wet the bed yet again on prime time, where you knew stuff was working at the beginning of the game. You bring Donovan Wilson on a blitz. McCarthy throws a pick to Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams get an interception. Like, that's how you do it. You apply pressure to an inexperienced quarterback. But instead, this guy, like I said, when they play the Cowboys defense, that's where your dreams come true. It happened yet again. And it's to these mid quarterbacks that really haven't fully progressed themselves into it. I'm sick and tired of losing to these quarterbacks that really don't have good games, but when they play against my defense, they want to have an all-pro, all-Madden status. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm constantly tired of it. And the more and more that I'm looking at it, the more and more I'm just like, you can fix this. But I'm going to have to call out everything that happens. Every time I'm on the screen, I'm going to call out what needs to be fixed going into 26. I have to. Because if I don't say anything, and then this zombie mob of Cowboy fans that want to say like, oh yeah, we need Jadon Blue. Yeah, we need finesse. And this and that. Where your head coach want to have a physical presence. No, I have to fix that. I got to change that. But in this game, the offense was stagnant because Javonte Williams got hurt. There was no other guy to step up like Javonte Williams did. Javonte Williams got the only 2 touchdowns in this game, yet had a shoulder and neck injury. I don't know what his status is going to be going into against the Chargers. But you really couldn't get the receivers going. My line was having problems because just the execution was all over the place. I give Brian Flores his credit. Like he had a 0 defense where you didn't know who was blitzing. And they were just applying pressure. They were blitzing Dak Prescott the whole time. Is what you're supposed to do to throw off your quarterback. Eberflus, you were just stubborn. And I really think in this game and then the Detroit game, if you know what? He didn't win against anybody from the division that he was the head coach in. He went 0-3-1. All of them scored over 30 points. And then the messed up thing is going into the season, the defense basically in 7 games gave up 30 plus points this season. You don't win games like that. And you really can't establish anything on that. My kicker, Aubrey, missed a 51-yarder and a 59-yarder. I don't know what's going on, but he hit his 41-yarders. But I don't know. Aubrey, I know you can be automatic, but maybe, just maybe, be more consistent. I need that out of you. Let's finish out this season. If you want the bag, be consistent. Don't go out there missing field goals because then they have something now. They're like, oh, he can't hit the big field goal again. What you did was create that narrative now. They have something. I'm not even going to get into Pickens. The receiver, like, he really didn't get off in this game. Ryan Flournoy, he's stepping up when his name is called. CeeDee Lamb, he had a good game. He had over 100 yards. He's close to getting that 1,000 mark. But they really couldn't get things going because that blitz was just throwing people off. And I understand my offensive line is not, like, healthy, but they're still executing what they need to. They wouldn't have them ranked in the top 3 for no reason, where the tackles is becoming an issue, especially in pass pro. Guyton, he's really missed on that line. Nate Thomas can only do so much for what he can do. If you run the football, then you show the strength of your team. But if you want to be in pass pro all the time, they really can't get settled. So, but the one thing that went good in this game, you know what? I'm going to give it to Javonte Williams. He's going to be my player of the game. He's basically been he's been an unsung hero this season, especially with coming into this season. Really didn't have any high hopes on him. And he just coming out, he get his first 1,000-yard season, his most productive season since his career. Yeah, I give him player of the game, but overall, there's just so much going on with this team where I don't know if they should finish out strong or honestly gear up for the draft season. I'm not looking up any players for the draft. I just know I need to evaluate who's on this team now because I need to figure out who's going to be on this team and who's going to be kicked off this team. But I'll leave it with this. If I gave a grade on how Schottenheimer's doing as a head coach, I'll say this. Jerry Jones got Schottenheimer right. He got Eberflus wrong. I digress. Y'all go ahead.
So, like, two comments here. One, going back to Eberflus in the division, there's a reason why he got fired from Chicago. Yeah. No, I mean, look, like, it's not his defensive scheme wasn't working. And I mean, he had a good defense. We know, hey, look, you put in Ben Johnson, that team actually looks like they're going to win the division this year. Kudos to them. Like, you get a competent head coach in Chicago, and that happens, right? So you have that. And like Eberflus, like he's I don't know if he's going to get another coordinator job.
The best way to put it, his scheme is outdated.
Yeah.
There's so much going on where there's so much press man happening now, and especially with people running the football, being creative with it, he's got to adapt to his players, and he's not doing that. And I think overall with what he's trying to do, if the answer, honestly, I believe Jerry was scrambling. After McCarthy didn't return, he was scrambling. He was trying to figure out what was going on there. So he ended up pulling Eberflus. He got shoddy, right? But if I would have known that Jerry was in his feelings with the whole Micah thing. I think if he wasn't in his feelings and they were able to figure something out, they would have been able to keep him, maybe get in a DT as well, and still keep it. But ego, emotions got involved. One player's gone. Oh, and another thing, I didn't talk about this, and I do apologize if I'm.
No, you're good. This, hey, look, you're still under 15 minutes, and that's good for you. So you're doing good, buddy.
It's therapeutic. I need to get this out.
Hey, look, we get it. We get it.
My question is to Cowboys Nation and front office. Why are you lying in the media? If you say that Diggs had a great week of practice, consistent, he can play, why on Saturday when you know the team is looking forward to Diggs coming back to say, oh, he's out for this game? They're killing the morale of my team before game day. Diggs came back. And the thing is, when I said that there's a coach that's snitching on him, it's Eberflus and his secondary coaches. I need them gone. Curtis, Overstreet, throw Thompson in there, Eberflus, gone. I need them flushed. They need to get out of here. And the more and more I'm thinking about it is that if you really want to try to... I'm so frustrated, Lucas, that the offense had by far one of their best seasons that I've seen in the last couple of years, and is sabotaged by an incompetent defensive coordinator, where the defense was one of the best, creating turnovers, and then you're telling me one player and a stubborn coach to just ruin it all. And the thing is, you brought in Quentin Williams. You brought in a linebacker in Logan Wilson. Everybody was worried about so much with the linebacker room that they failed that the corners was getting cooked every single game. Don't worry about the linebackers. Play the right linebackers. You need to look at your corners. If you're going to have them playing zone, why would they play zone if they're press man corners? I'm just tired of it. I'm sick of just the incompetence. You know what is working. Execute it. See, it's me and Cowboys Nation that are understanding what's happening, and we need to put the knee to the forehead for this, because it's the more and more we're seeing it is that we need to put it on the media, like literally. If you want to worry about what's happening on the outside, you need to fully understand. The worst thing is they're judging the team as a book cover and not fully understanding and reading the pages, which is within the team. And that's what's hurting this season. We see what the offense could be. We ruined a Pickens year that he was doing great, but so much other stuff happened that it's fizzled out. Now, my defense, I really don't know what is going to occur. You're telling me one applying pressure is the thing, and you think one player dictates that? You don't know football. If you're worried about one player to do it, you need to have all your guys know how to do it. If you add an extra guy on the line to apply pressure, that's another guy that's disrupting the quarterback. And then if you just lock in, have your corners lock in on the receiver, so be it. But I'm just ready to move on to the next thing.
Well, I got a few more. I have I guess I have comment here. You said you weren't looking at prospects, so are we not going to get JT's prospect of the week? I feel like we're ready for that.
I have 3 games to go.
Okay, so you're not going to do it until the playoffs. Gotcha.
I don't know. I might just wait close to the draft time.
I have a question for you.
I'm not thinking about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question. You have three more games this year, but just based off of your frustration, there's been a lot of different problems with how the Cowboys season went, internal and external. I want you to give us to better illustrate the problems. I want you to give us a Dallas Cowboys 2025 blame pie. Now I want you to give us pies. all the issues, percentages. Just give us a blame pie of what's wrong with this franchise or this organization this season.
Front office trying to be co-head coaches.
Before you continue, because we were recording this on Wednesday. Apologize everyone for the day.
Yeah, that's my fault. I had a personal thing that didn't allow us to record last night.
Yeah. I saw Hard Knocks this week.
Yeah, we all saw it. Yeah.
Okay. So I saw that Jerry Jones and Steve Jones was in the room with Schottenheimer. I guess that's like a weekly thing. Not all the owners have conversations with their coach. So with that said, continue.
My owner does, but yeah.
Okay. They feel like Jerry wants to coach the team. And it's becoming a bad problem. When you see that they're in the team meetings and in the personnel meetings, they're dictating who gets the ball, who's out there on the field, which is a problem. Which means that in the offseason, you said you're right. You're going to be right by Schottenheimer's side and allowing him to do his thing. Why are you in the meetings? If you're going to let Shotty cook, why are you shadowing his meetings?
Why did he make Shotty hire Eberflus in the first place?
No, Shotty didn't hire Eberflus. Jerry did.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying why wouldn't you just let Shotty hire his own staff instead of hiring?
Because he wants a puppet in there. Mm-hmm. He wants a puppet. Mm-hmm. Now, I think if Schottenheimer picked his defensive coaches and what a head coach should do, I could see the progression of what the defense would have been and how the offense. He picked the offense, got his guys. He got Clayton Adams. He's got Connor Riley. And those guys really helped the line with what they could. When, if you give them a running back, I think it would progress even more. But you didn't. We only had Javonte Williams. I think if we had another running back to go with Javonte Williams, this offense would have took off. Because I think Schottenheimer wants to run the ball, but he doesn't have the players in here that he trusts that can execute that. He doesn't trust Jadon Blue. Phil Maffa was on IR the entire season, and they just opened up his 21-day window. It's kind of too late now. So, honestly, you're seeing what you have, but if you really need to go get your running back, it might be in the draft, it might be in free agency. Never know. But being co-coaches, not getting the running back in here to pair with Javonte Williams, not letting Schottenheimer pick his coaches on defense, the insecurity of Eberflus getting a second chance, football politics, not playing the right players, the media and beat writers and the zombie mob creating false narratives about their players. They're not letting it be about football. They're letting it be with everything else in the world.
Okay, let's pause there. So we know all what the problems are. Now put them all together and give a percentage of how much does Jerry get? Percentage of the blame pie does Jerry get? How much does Eberflus get? How much does
Jerry gets about 60%.
Okay.
Eberflus 30%, and I guess
50% media.
10% media. But you know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna go 40% Jerry, 30% media. So that's a 70, and then I'll give 15 for Eberflus, and then 15 for Shoddy, because the more and more it's looking at that, Schottenheimer was no saint neither. He knew this stuff was going on, but yet he didn't want to fight. He knew this battle was coming. And that even started with the first round pick, where they were throwing all these guards and stuff at him, but he needed a guy with physical presence. Booker had that. And I give credit to Tyler Booker. He's playing really well his rookie year. He's creating that physical presence. And kudos to him for that. But at the same time, Schottenheimer knew what he was getting himself into. He needed to put more of an effort into that. If he would have talked to Jerry more and maybe picked his coaches on defense, maybe just maybe. But now it's looking like they could have done what they needed to with. I really think with this is that they gave Shoddy and Eberflus to bring in their players. And if it didn't get done next season, I think Jerry and Steven going to take over. And the reason why I say this, I saw this with McCarthy and when they had Mike Nolan. Eberflus is worse than Mike Nolan as a defensive coordinator. Like, by far, he's the worst defensive coordinator in Dallas Cowboys football history. With just the insecurity that he has and the amount of points that was given up in a season. Inexcusable. And they went and did an executive move and they brought Quinn in. If Eberflus does not figure out what he needs to do in these third games, honestly, he should have been fired right when we got to the bye week. And I'm still on flush Flus. But he's coaching for his job right now. And that's that. But it shouldn't even have gotten to that, where if you really was about winning, and Jerry knows if he can put this thing together if he does what I know he can do. But remember how I said he still got that chip that he needs to play? He's still got in his back pocket. I'm done. I digress.
All right. Let's go ahead and switch gears and go to news around the NFL. And let me double check to see what we got here. I think there's two big stories. The first big one is the return of old man Philip Rivers, right, Maurice?
So 44-year-old Philip Rivers came back. He told Joe Flacco to hold my juice box. Yeah, he lost the game, though. He did lose the game. The Colts are sliding. They were one of the best teams in the league to start the season, but they're sliding. So, yeah, Philip Rivers looked okay. He looked okay. They did highlight that. I think it was funny.
He definitely had the dad bod going on, but outside of that,
he wasn't in football shape yet.
No.
It was funny they highlighted
he was shaped kind of like a football, but he was not in football shape.
It was funny.
I can't even talk, but like,
me either. Yeah. But they highlighted that on Hard Knocks.
Everybody was talking about the Philip Rivers stuff.
Yeah. And the other big news was the news of the week was just injuries. Patrick Mahomes towards ACL.
Oh, yeah, well, then there's three. Then there's three big news because something happened today.
Oh, tell us about it.
Oh, you guys didn't hear?
Got benched.
Tua got benched for the rest of the year.
For Quinn Ewers.
For Quinn Ewers.
I saw that coming.
But let's go back to the injuries. The Patrick Mahomes, people are kind of saying, oh, this is the Brady path because, it happened during his 9th season, lost the season, weren't going to make the playoffs. And then, part 2, the second, dynasty run afterwards. And maybe that's the case. They got some major retooling to do.
It's late in the season, too, for the injuries as well.
Yeah.
That's what hurts the most.
They said he's aiming for week 1, so we'll see.
Yeah. And then Micah, that was a non-contact. That was rough. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Prayers up to them on speedy recoveries.
Yeah.
But it definitely kind of hinders on what they do in the offseason, especially with depending on their return window. I know for an ACL tear, it takes about 9 to 10 months. on the recovery mark. So,
well, that's when you're allowed to play,
how...
but you don't feel like yourself for another year. I'll say that.
Absolutely. And I know that Micah, he's still young, so he probably could.
But didn't he already tear his ACL once before? Oh, I thought he tore his ACL with you guys once.
I don't think so.
He had an ankle injury, but he was having back problems this season. So.
All right, and then Tua. So it seems like the Tua experiment is done, right?
I put that blame on the Dolphins offense and front office, because
the front office has already been fired. They
have
putting it on the head coach then, because
Mike McDaniel's probably going to get fired after this season.
They didn't have a line to protect Tua.
Eagles fans are already saying, "Oh, we need to hire him." I saw that on Twitter today. Mike McDaniel.
I mean, he could be better as an OC. But
that's true.
He was over here, so
yeah.
Well, he was over there with Atlanta.
So where does Tua's guaranteed? I think 54 or 56 million. Who does he start for next year? Miami.
Well, first of all, Miami will have to take $100 million in dead cap.
That's
a lot. That's a lot of money. Now,
but if you're benching him for no good reason, and look, like he's not. He's what? He has had a decent amount of yards, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So the interceptions are kind of high, but like it's not like
the season's lost for the Dolphins. So you might as well see what you got
in a 7th round pick.
Why not? Whatever.
But did you guys? I know Mal saw. I know Mal saw Tyreek Hill's Twitter tweet. He was just he did, and then disappeared. Yeah, so it feels like he's gonna be gone. Yeah, no,
there might unwell too, though, mentally.
Yeah, so. I mean the amount of kids, the amount of children that he's fathered.
I don't even think that he's just crazy.
I mean, he tackled a woman before.
He's out of his mind.
I mean, Miami's like
it's Miami.
That Miami nightlife and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, so JT, I forgot to do this last week. It's your time to shine. You get 2 Who's That Football players.
All right, it's time for Who's That Football Player. Damn it. This football player played with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
In the 2022 season, this player had 3 interceptions for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Long was 37 yards, 13 pass deflections, 52 total tackles. 36 of them were solo, and 1 tackle for loss. This player is a Super Bowl champion and a 1-time league leader in interception touchdowns. So Maurice, Mal, as well as myself, who's that football player for the Washington Commanders?
What year was it again?
2022.
2022. He was a Super Bowl champion?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously went on a team. No offense.
Fair. I mean, look, it's fair. Not the longest drought in the NFL, but you know. It's been a while.
I have no idea, Mal. Who you got?
I got Kendall Fuller.
JT?
Kendall Fuller.
You two are correct. It was Kendall Fuller.
Oh, wow.
What gave it away?
Good job, Mal. Well,
what team did he win a championship with?
The Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs. The 3 interceptions gave it away for me.
Okay.
That was the interception
was it,
touchdown for me.
And the interception leader of the league one year. That one gave it away too.
That's fair. All right, and then the other one. Let's get to the other one. This one was harder.
Yeah.
For who?
Oh my God! Here we go. He already knows it. Whatever.
He probably already knows it.
Yeah.
All right. Part 2 of Who's That Football Player? Played with the New York Giants. This player in the 2007 season.
Mm-hmm.
16 games and 1 false start. Wait, one false start?
Yep.
One false start.
It's very unless you get PFF. I can't give you any offensive line stats. That's why I don't like doing offensive linemen.
It was insane. Career Awards is a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah,
Maurice as well as myself. Who's that football player?
It's like no context to that.
I'll say that because I lost the tab in the history search, and I had to, without looking it up, like I had to use Gronk on X to try that, and Gronk took like 3 minutes trying to figure it out, and they gave me 2 options. I'm like, oh yeah, it's that guy.
Maurice.
Do I even remember an offensive line from 07?
That's a fair question. That's a fair question.
Uh,
I will give them more of a hint.
No
okay,
hints,
fine.
no hints.
Dude, you literally gave them 16 games in one false start. What is that?
And a Super Bowl champion. And JT does not want the hit. Clearly.
I just want to know which one he's going to guess with the one false start is what gets me. Remember that one specific false start?
yeah, come on, that role. Come on, man. How do you?
I
okay,
would know what had happened because I saw this game.
You saw the game.
One false start.
Where he had the one false start. Okay, then who is it, JT?
Is it Jared Lorenzen?
Oh my god.
No, you got him, Mal. You got him.
Oh my god. But
I'm so
we
proud
really
of
didn't
you.
give him much context at all.
No, we did not.
I know he had a false start.
Maybe we
against
should
the
invest in
Cowboys.
a PFF account, guys. Do we need to get into a PFF account? Because like that, if we're gonna do offensive linemen, I feel like that's the only fair way to do it is get PFF. Because like
it's
I
an
tried to
offensive
look,
lineman.
like no, I tried to
okay.
look up like how many. I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, how many sacks did this player give up? And he's like, I can't. There's no free way of doing that. You have to get PFF. I'm like, ChatGPT.
Wait. So he did have a fumble recovery that year.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yes. So I don't know if that helped.
I missed that when I was doing the
Who are you
stats.
talking about?
Oh.
Rich Subert.
Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Super.
known that.
Yeah,
He was a
yeah,
guard. And that's why I was going to say at least that he was a guard. At least it would have given them something.
Hey,
Yeah.
Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
I don't
Good job, man.
really count that one as stumping Earl. I need a better one. I need more
Okay.
stats.
Well,
We'll talk about getting PFF later, but that's
Well,
that's
anyway.
an off the air
Might have
thing.
to change the title to "How We Gonna Stomp JT."
That,
Literally.
honestly, though, like
Stomp the wolf. Beat the wolf.
there you go. Anyway,
All right. Poll questions now?
yeah,
All right. So let's start with the Commanders ones. I think there's only 2.
yeah. There's 2. Yeah, 2.
One from the 7th of December.
Yes,
Should the
that
Washington
was-
Commanders head coach Dan Quinn be fired based on the results
No,
of
we
the
did
season?
that one last. We
Okay,
did
so
that
then there's
one.
only one. Okay.
Are you sure?
So
Hang on.
yeah, I
Yeah,
got
because we did that last.
yeah.
I've
Yeah, we
I
did.
read that
swore I
one
did
last
like
time.
2 video. Hang on. No, this is bugging me now.
I
You
think
can
I
do
did
the one that you have though, and I'll double
Okay.
check.
I think it's
So
mine.
first
Yeah, I
Commanders
thought it
poll
was,
question I have is: with this season being an abject failure for the Washington Commanders, which off-season decision was the biggest mistake? Trading Robinson, trading for old vets, not upgrading at edge, or the McLaurin drama? It was
Oh, that's a
50-50.
good question right there.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
50-50 for trading for old vets and not upgrading at edge.
All of the above.
All
Of the above.
Yeah. You can definitely tell when Lucas asks a poll question. It's just so much more emotion into the poll question.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, there is one more. There is one more.
Where?
Eagles one.
It's on. I might have not retweeted it, but it was about Brandon Ayuk. I'll read it.
Okay, you go. You do that one.
Whether
I do remember
so,
that
poll
one.
question: whether it's a trade, waiver wire, or free agency, should the Washington Commanders acquire Brandon Ayuk next offseason? And I'm on TikTok right now reading the responses here. One person said on the cheap, yes. He said, I rather build the team through the draft, signing, no trade. sign him only if he becomes a free agent. By no means trade for him or anybody else. We need to stop trading away trade assets. I'd love TikTok's reactions because they can't just push a button. They actually give you like full like emotional responses.
And like break it down. But that is smart because y'all gave away a lot of your draft capital, and if you
your team's too old
on to something for it, and then your team is too old to trade them, you just gotta kind of revamp it in the draft. So
I know I posted it on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I did, but I can't find. Oh, there it is. But yeah, it's on Twitter. It's 50-50, 8 votes.
Oh, I can tell you that my one of my uncles, who's a Commanders fan, he saw the poll question because I do pass it out to people and have them talk on it. Him and his buddies are Commander fans. They talk smack, but I just laugh at them. But basically, they said that they wouldn't mind having Ayuk, but at the same time, they really want to try to see who's in the draft first. But you got a guy who's already under contract, which it just depends what the team would want to trade for him. It wouldn't be bad, but at the same time, they were like, they would rather draft.
So, like, I wouldn't trade for him. It sounds like, based off of what I'm hearing out of San Francisco, is that they're probably going to release him and not guarantee his contract.
Post-June cut?
Yeah, post-June cut. So if he becomes a free agent, I almost guarantee he's coming here. But I would I would use him to replace Noah Brown because we can't have two guys with, like, constant injury issues. So, like, like Noah Brown's been solid, but he just can't stay healthy. I think it's time for him to go. So, like, if you bring in Ayuk over Noah Brown, that's fine with me. But then
at that point, if you do, and that would be good, you don't re-sign Debo. Because honestly, that was the reason why Debo was out of there.
Yeah.
Same frame.
Well, I mean, like, I think you can get Debo, but I think you can get him for a lot cheaper than what he's currently making right now. Like, I think you can get him for, like, around, like, anywhere from 8 to, like, 12 million a year. I think that's kind of where he's at now as a wide receiver. I don't think he's, like, top tier money anymore. And that's fine, But if he's more than, like, 14, 15 million, let him walk. Like, seriously, let him walk. Anyway, let's get to the trivia question.
We have another poll question, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Eagles. Yeah, sorry.
Who is the problem for the recent offensive struggles for the Philadelphia Eagles? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, or OC? 80% said OC.
Yeah, that checks. Yeah. All right, time for
question. Yeah. Question, Maurice, real quick. If they decide to move from Petula, how would you feel if McDaniel got fired and came in as an OC?
Here's the thing. I don't think Sirianni is going to get fired. But if that did happen, they would get an offensive-minded coach.
I didn't say Sirianni get fired. I'm saying the OC.
I'm getting to it. So they'll bring in their own offensive coordinator. Now, if you're bringing in a former coach to be the offensive coordinator, I would take a stab at Lincoln Riley.
From USC?
Yes. If he wanted to come in and be the offensive coordinator with the caveat
that buyout goes.
With the caveat being that Sirianni could be on the edge at any point in time. Just because,
so like a Ty Lue situation in Cleveland back in 2016.
Yes,
I got you.
Yeah. With the caveat being that, because he's familiar with Jalen Hurts. He was a coach in college.
In the year at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. So, with that said, I wouldn't mind that. Now, just going by the candidates that might be available, Mike McDaniels is a good option. Don't forget about our quarterback coach, Leffler. He could be an option if they go in-house, which I don't want them to go in-house.
No, they need to go. They do better. I noticed that you guys do better when you go out of house for coordinator positions.
Yep, true.
You probably need another Kellen Moore type.
The issue is with the Philadelphia Eagles is if we're successful, we've been successful, that offensive coordinator is always going to be on the way out. It's the way it's always been. And, if this is a reclamation job for Mike McDaniels, he's gone in another year or two. We're back in the same spot. So
yeah.
We thought the same thing for Cliff, but it doesn't feel like Cliff's leaving after this year.
I don't think Cliff did enough. Like when he was a head coach, I think he's better as a
coordinator.
OC.
Yeah,
you just gotta give him some.
Yeah, but Mike might get another shot because the Dolphins were good a couple of years. They were almost there.
Well, I guess if you picking somebody from college, I guess I could throw in my little defensive coordinator hat. Old fellow from Chapel Hill.
He ain't coming out of there. His girlfriend goes there or something like that.
Why'd you say it that way? His girlfriend goes there.
You know exactly why I said it that way. I don't need to explain myself. The listeners understand. They get it.
Look, all I need him there is for defense. I don't want him to be a head coach. Just focus on defense.
You would want Belichick as your defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys?
I would not mind it. I would not mind it.
That should be a poll question. That should be a poll question.
Honestly, Brian Flores, his contract expires at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I would want to bring in Brian Flores as my defense coordinator.
Doesn't he still have like a suit against the NFL?
I think if he's working under Jerry, it would be no problem.
We'll see. Well, okay, let's finish up here, guys. We're almost done.
But, yeah, back on track.
So. Last one. Giants trivia question. Of the New York Giants starting offensive linemen who were drafted, which one was drafted with the lowest pick?
The Cowboys offensive line?
Who were drafted by the Giants or who were drafted in general?
Drafted in general.
Who was drafted in general?
Yeah.
On the current team.
On the current team.
On the current team.
The starters.
Yeah, of the starters.
Well, Andrew Thomas was first round. Schmitz was second round. I'm going to say Runyon because Van Rotten wasn't drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Runyon was.
Evan Neal was
in 192.
He's not a starter, Evan Neal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just of the starters.
Oh.
But so yes, you are correct. It was John Runyon Jr. That is correct.
He was like, what, the fourth round?
He's sixth.
Sixth round.
Yeah, because it was like around 192, I think.
Yeah, because Illuminor was like a fifth round, I think.
Yep,
yeah.
He was there.
Yeah. He was close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Van Rodden almost ruined this, but so I had to reword it a particular way.
Yeah, because he's undrafted. He was undrafted.
Yeah. But no. Anyway, good job, guys. Everybody got that right. Let's go ahead and peace out.
Thank you for everybody tuning in to 14 Rings NFC East podcast. If you like what you saw, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to our first 1,000. You can check us out on our social and media pages of 14 Rings NFC East podcast. You can check us out on our individual episodes. Mine is Barbershop Talk with JT. You can check out Lucas for DC Football 101. You can check out Miles' episode, NYG Weather Forecast. And you can check out Maurice Feeling Cooking with Maurice. And you can check us out on the social media pages. Everyone have a blessed day. Have a happy holiday. Keep your head on the swivel. And blessings, much love, DC for life.
Deuces.
Bye, y'all.
Raise hell.